This is the 2010 Dodge through, as of now, 2017. We're going to show you how to install the Pro and the Sport front bumper replacement. We've already taken the chrome off, but these two holes right here and these two holes right here on each side is where you got to unbolt the chrome bumper from. We've got the chrome bumper over here. We can show you the bolts. These are the bolts right here, the two bottom ones and the two top ones that you have to undo to remove this chrome bumper. There's also the fog lights if you have them in there. Okay, there's going to be two little bolts here and one little bolt here, and you take that out, and then you're going to take that out. Do not remove the light out of the factory housing because you're going to install that in your new bumper. And we'll show you how to do that here in a little bit, but let me show you how to mount these brackets and all that on this truck. Your tow hooks are going to be right here. You're going to have to remove these tow hooks. Okay, we just kind of got it loosely up there right now. You have to remove these tow hooks. They pull off like that. Again, there's 4 of them. In your kit, you're going to have new bolts in there. There's 17mm sockets to work on that. You're going to use these new bolts to remount everything on there. Okay, it's actually going to mount onto the front end. Your bracket itself is going to have this be mounted with the same bolts. And your bracket is going to be mounted in that spot just like that. Okay, your front end's actually going to be mounted to these 4 bolts on each side, which would be 1/2 by 1 3/4 bolts on there is what you're going to use on there. On the other side, we got one bracket mounted already, and you can see our 4 bolts in there that we've bolted up on there. Okay, your bigger plate on top, just make sure you got it the right direction. It kind of comes down a little bit right here from that flat plate, so that's going to go down just so you know which way to go. You don't get it backwards on there. But then again, you're going to mount this on your front end. We can go over here to the front end. We can show you how to do that. We've got one tow hook already mounted right there. You're just going to come from the front and you're going to put your bolts in there. Again, it's like the 17mm socket is what you're going to use, and you're going to bolt those on there. Okay, you can do it before or after. It's easier to get in that plate because the little straps are in the way if you try to do it later. This one does not have sensors. We've got little plugs right in there. You can see we put in from the front. I got a rubber hammer I use to knock them in there just so you don't scar it, or you can get a little piece of little wood or something on there so you don't scar it. The fog light that we just took out just a minute ago, you can see that we've remounted. It's got a 1/4 inch bolt on each side. Okay, and you're going to have a harness that goes in there, and if you got sensors, you're going to use the factory housings out of the chrome bumper. The housing is going to come from the front just like you put in your plug, and then your sensors will remount just like they come out of your chrome bumper. We've got a little angle iron right here. You can take some zip ties or tie the harness to just to kind of help keep it from blowing around in the wind and everything. But again, if you got sensors, you're going to use your factory housing out of your bumper or your plastic plugs to plug the hole if not. Okay, and this one has a light bar in there. That's what these little tabs are. It's an option with or without the light bar. This one just so happens to have the light bar in there, and then you'll put your own light in that thing. And now we're going to get somebody to help us hang this thing, and we'll show you how to align this. This is the Pro. We'll show you how to align the Pro front bumper. We got a couple guys that helped us get this thing up there. We've tightened it up. I want to explain how we did it. What I usually do is kind of pull up on one side and get it about the height that you want. You'll snug one bolt and then get a forward jack under the other side. That way you can get it leveled out. Once you get the forward jack up underneath there, you jack it up. What I do is I get this little sticker here lined up with your rearview mirror or so and back up, and just get these what I call tops of the loops here flush with the lights on each side of the hood. You can go with the hood or the little fender right there. Just make sure it's the same on each side. That's how you know the height is right on that thing. Always take a tape measure. Once you get there and take a tape measure from the light to the inside, outside, doesn't matter, as long as you do both sides the same and make sure you got the same measurement from side to side. And once that is, then you tighten everything up, make sure all bolts are tied up underneath there. You can see again, this one did not have the sensors, so we got the black plugs in there. If you had sensors, you'd have had your sensors in there. And that is the install on the Pro and Sport front end replacement.